Hello my friends, good afternoon to you. Thanks for stopping back by the channel. As you can tell, I'm in my typical summer state, which is sweated down to my socks. I got lights in my office. It's been a long time since y'all seen my office, and it's always been dark in here. So I've got overhead lights, and they never have worked, ever. All the plugs work, everything works, but the overhead lights didn't work. So I bought a new switch. I thought it's a switch. Opened it up, put a new switch in it, nothing. Just no power. I got my tester out, no power to it, no power in the wiring to it. So I had to trace it back through the wall, and it was actually at a plug that it came from. The wires had been there so long that they were corroded, wasn't making contact. Pulled that apart, cleaned up the wire, put it back in, and voila, I have light in my office trailer again. Pretty awesome. Well, I'm looking good, aren't I? Scraggly, unshaved. That's how I roll. There hasn't been a razor on my face in over a year. I just use some clippers and kind of clip it, but I'm overdue. So you'll have to forgive me for that. But the main reason why I'm on here today is my get home bag. Here's my get home bag, and you've seen it before, and I've showed it to everybody. The get home bag is a 19-pound bag the way it's configured right at the moment, and most of the gear that's in it is not heavy gear, but it's kind of bulky. You know, I've got a military whoobie, poncho whoobie, and the main problem I'm having with it is this bag. While this is a great bag, see this little roundness? That doesn't really come out of it. This doesn't have a frame in it at all. And it's round, and it feels weird on my back. It's got everything I want in it, but it doesn't ride right. And I've walked with it several times, and I just didn't know exactly what to do. But I was out in the barn, and I come across my first bug out bag. I never had a get home bag. My plan was, you know, I was in my 30s. I'm just gonna go. If something bad happens, more than a bug out bag is more like an inch bag. And if you don't know what an inch is, I'm never coming home. I am never coming home. Yeah, that's it. Inch. And you'll hear that some out in the prepper community. I don't believe in inch bags anymore. I think it's a pipe dream. Could you do it? Yes, but you can't do it forever. You'd have to have some type of supplies. You'd have to resupply yourself. You just can't take one bag and just boom, go up to National Forest and you're done. It's unrealistic. If you think you can do it, you might want to really think long and hard on that decision. But anyway, this was my first bug out bag, and this is the large military Alice pack. This bag is about 65 liters, and this is a great bag, but it's not a perfect bag by any stretch of the imagination. One, the lid closure on here, you couldn't ever open it. You could loosen the straps, but you just kind of flop them out of the way and lift the lid up. I didn't like that, so I installed buckles. Just little plastic buckles. They're cheap, and it is way better, way better. Another thing, I like to hang my bags. When I get to where I'm going to be staying for a little while, I like to hang my bag up on a tree limb. I might just shave the limb off and leave a stub and hang my bag up there. You can't do the Alice pack that way because it has no handle. So, I added my own handle. I put myself a little paracord 550 cord handle on here. Boy, when I lifted that thing up, it tightened down and I had a bunch of extra string. But anyway, it's a handle. It works great. So, when I got this bag, which I bought this bag for $40. Good luck buying it now for $40. But it didn't have any straps. And I bought this at a surplus place. They were like, hey, just go back there and grab you some straps. There's a whole box of them back there. You're going to need straps. I was like, yes, I am. So these were a little bit later strap that were designed for the Alice pack, but these are 1980-ish straps. They got a little bit more padding. Still not wonderful straps, but they're better than the originals. It still has the name Mr. Porter. He carried this bag. Thank you for your service, Mr. Porter, wherever you happen to may be today. And I've really enjoyed your bag. Sort of. So the last time I had this loaded, remember this was a bug out bag and it was 60 pounds. These bags are easily capable of putting 60 pounds in them. The problem with these bags is they suck when you go over 30 pounds. These bags, while they got your shoulder straps and they have a lumbar support, they don't have a waistband. This just sits against your lumbar area in your bag. So all the weight is still on your shoulders. And yeah, it's pretty much horrible. How those boys did it back in the day, of course I could do it back in the day. I'm just old, and you know, time happens. And I'm not gonna do it today. But I like this bag because it also has a metal frame. This bag doesn't sit up against your back. It's got an air gap. And as you can see from the sweat dripping off of me, I need all the air I can get. So my problem always has been that when I have a bag this size, I tend to go, you know what? I really need this item. I need it. I've got to have it. And I'm going to put it in the bag. You know what? I really, really need this other item. I mean, really, I can't survive without this other item. And I put it in the bag. 2 months later, it's back to 60 pounds. Every time, I'm guilty every single time. I've even done it on my original bag. I added a sleep mat because, you know, I had a video back when I did a overnight test with my get home bag. And I had no pad whatsoever. It was just straight on the ground. And yes, I could have gathered pine straw and blah, 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 but it was all soaking wet. Yes, I can carry garbage bags in my bag. I can't survive it. I gotta have 2 garbage bags to put my pine straw in, and here we go. I was like, you know what? I just want a sleep mat. I don't want an inflatable. I'll wind up puncturing it. It'll be flat in 2 days. I'm gonna get a sleep mat. That is insulation, and it's never gonna go flat. And it'll be way better than a little tiny rock poking you in the back all night. So I'm going to try it one more time. And my promise to myself, we'll see, I'm going to promise myself that I'm going to take the contents out of my standard get home bag and I'm going to put them in the Alice pack. So the get home bag again is 19 pounds. 19 pounds in the Alice pack is nothing. I mean, basically, it won't look any different hardly than what it looks right now. It'll be a deflated backpack, but it'll carry it that way so well. I do believe. I just have to quit being ignorant. This is not a perfect get-home bag, but it works. I know it works. I've used it. It absolutely works. So I know if I put it in this Alice pack, it'll work. For me, it's mine. I built it for me. May not have the same results for you, but it works. I just can't. Oh, this item only weighs 6 grams. Let me throw it in there. Oh, this item's only 4 ounces. Let me throw it in there. Oh, that's only a pound. Well, I can go ahead and I've got plenty of room. And again, here we are, and my back is screaming, and I've made it a whole mile down the road, and I've started throwing things out of my bag. Just ridiculous. So I'm going to give it a whirl, and my goal is, which I'm going to try to keep those expectations up, is my wife's going to take me down the road and throw me out of the car in this heat. And I'm going to try to walk back home without dying. With no more water than what I carried. It's going to be a one day. I'm going to carry my food, but I shouldn't need any food. If I need food, I have it. But I shouldn't need food. It should be only water breaks. I might have a snack, maybe. But I'm going to test it out. I'm also going to test out some new boots that I've gotten. I've had them probably 6 months and I've worn them twice. I haven't really walked any. I bet you I hadn't walked 400 yards in a continuous line with them. So that should be fun. Hopefully they don't eat my feet off. But these, I've showed you my Morel jungle mocks. They're just not designed for walking. I walked 11 miles in them that one stretch, one of my earlier videos, and my dogs were barking. They're just not designed for that. So anyway, I've been droning on long enough. Let me know what you think. You think I can stick to my promise to myself? I sure hope I can. But if I can't, my back will let me know real quick. It's the all-deciding overlord at this point. But anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see y'all next time. Until then, take care.